Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, what up? So for today's video, y'all already know what's up. We're gonna be talking about the brand new Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation. I have been talking about getting this bad boy since I first saw the release pictures on Trend Mood. Y'all had to know I was gonna get this because the original is such a favorite of mine. It's literally one of my top 3 foundations, period. I love it so much. But I did wish that it was a little bit more matte, a little bit more long wearing. But when it comes to how it looks on the skin, how it applies, how it sits, taking pictures, filming with it, it's a perfect foundation. I just wish that it lasted longer. So the fact that they've come out with a matte version of that one, yo, they made my dream come true, like for real, for real. So let's get into some boring specs about this foundation. I don't want this video to be too long. So this foundation retails for $40, only $1 more than the original Born This Way foundation. And currently it is only sold on the Too Faced website as well as Sephora's website. But I'm pretty sure they'll be bringing it to Ulta soon because they carry the original Born This Way line at Ulta. Just don't know when exactly it's gonna be coming to Ulta. But this is supposed to be a 24-hour undetectable, super long wear foundation. Oil-free, oil controlling, waterproof, and transfer resistant. Okay, so she's supposed to do a lot more than the original foundation, and it's still infused with coconut water, alpine rose, and hyaluronic acid. This is what the box looks like if you care. I got the shade Chai because I also wear Chai in the original Born This Way foundation as well as the Too Faced Peach Perfect matte foundation, and I will be swatching those foundations on my skin because we all know that typically when a brand comes out with the same shades in a different formula, sometimes they can have some variation in tone. So I don't think these foundations are any different. So I'm gonna swatch all 3 shades of Chai that I have on my skin tone so you guys can kind of see how they differ in the shades. And today is not gonna really be a first impressions, but it's not really gonna be a review either. I feel like it's a bit of both because I wore this foundation all day yesterday. So it's still kind of like a first impression because I haven't put all of the claims to the test, but it's still a review because I kind of got some thoughts on this foundation already. So I'm wearing it right now. I am going to show you guys a demo of how I apply it, and I also will be putting all of the rest of my complexion products and everything in the description box as always if you're curious what else I have on my face. So far I'm really liking the way that it looks. I'm looking at it in the viewfinder and my skin looks flawless, girl. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, I believe this foundation comes in either 34 or 35 shades. I can't really remember exactly, but it's one of those. This is what the bottle looks like. So they made it taller and skinnier than the original Born This Way bottle, so you can be able to tell the difference while it's in your collection, which I really appreciate. But the way that it looks is pretty much the same as the original. It's still a fluid ounce of foundation, so they didn't cheap out there. So yeah, like I said, I have the original Born This Way foundation in Chai, and then I have the Too Faced Peach Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all of these for you guys so you can kind of see how they vary. These are the shades right here, and at first glance you guys probably aren't going to be able to notice that big of a difference. This is the new Too Faced matte foundation. This is the original Born This Way foundation, and then this is the Peach Perfect foundation in Chai. So as you guys can see, the original Born This Way foundation, the undertone is just a little bit different than these two. Both of these two seem to have a little bit more of an orangey undertone, while this one is a little bit more yellow. And that is something that I've noticed when I take my Instagram pictures. When I put this foundation on, sometimes it can look a little bit yellow compared to the rest of my body. So, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I don't care. I love a yellow undertone, but I feel like these two are just a little bit more perfect for my skin tone, especially during the summertime as far as undertone goes, because these two seem to be closer to each other, I guess because they're both matte, but they have a little bit more slight of an orange undertone to them. So I just wanted to show you guys what they all look like side by side. So I don't think there's enough of a difference in the swatches for you to not get the same shade in this foundation. If you already wear the Born This Way or the peach one, I don't think it's enough of a difference. Who knows, maybe the lighter shades are different, I'm not sure, but I just wanted to show you guys that just in case. So before we get into the demo, I just want to talk a little bit about the foundation since I wore it yesterday. So I definitely feel like this foundation is transfer resistant. It definitely does not transfer onto my mask as much as other foundations. I did set it down with powder just because that's how I always do my makeup. I always set my foundations with powder. And I just felt like it was not sticky at all. Even right now, my face feels so smooth. It doesn't feel sticky at all. And I do feel like I didn't have so much makeup in my mask yesterday. So I can definitely go ahead and say that transfer resistant is a pretty good claim that they've made with this foundation. I don't know about waterproof. I am not going to spray my face with water to test if this foundation is waterproof. I rarely get wet with my foundations anyway, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried about the oil controlling. So I was sweating a little bit yesterday. I filmed another video and I was sweating a little bit yesterday. I had the same headband on and I did not have a whole lot of transfer from me sweating on my headband. So that is so good because when I start back going to work and I have to wear my PCs, I do not want a whole lot of foundation transfer onto my hat. So I think that this foundation does have some really good claims as far as being oil controlling and transfer proof. I wore this foundation yesterday for like 12 hours and my skin looked so good. I did get oily, which I wasn't really too concerned about, but it was not greasy. It was not greasy at all. And I did use different products yesterday. I used the same primer, but I did use different complexion products, a different powder, different concealer and everything, because I just really want to give this foundation a test with a lot of different complexion products. But so far, she has been performing for me personally. Mind you guys, I have extremely oily skin, so anything mattifying, I'm all about. So far, I love the foundation. And I'm gonna go ahead and get into the demo right now. So far, I've already went through and prepped my skin like how I always do. So I use the Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer as well as the Nyx Bare With Me Prime Set and Refresh Spray. I use these with all of my foundations, so I didn't want to change up my routine today. So for my primer, I'm going to be using my Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. You guys have been seeing me use this in a lot of my videos recently. This is like one of my favorite primers right now. So I'm not going to deviate away from it just because this is a new foundation, because I don't ever go without foundation when I'm wearing my makeup. I don't ever go without primer when wearing my makeup. So today is not going to be any different. I know some people like to test out the claims of the foundation without primer, but that's not really how I wear my makeup. So why would I want to test it out like that? And this primer is so good. I really do feel like it smooths my skin as well as keeps me pretty matte, like it oil controls for me. So I love this primer. It is A1. So I feel like you can apply this foundation with a brush or a sponge. Today I'm going to use my Colourpop Velvet Sponge because even though this is a sponge, it's almost like you're applying your foundation with a brush when you use this. So I just really like using it for my foundations, whether they're matte or not. So I'm just going to take 2 pumps of the foundation because that's usually how much I use for all my foundations. And I like to smooth it all over and then blend it in. I don't feel like it's such a matte foundation where you have to work super fast with it, but it does dry down matte. Ooh, I have no forehead. My hairline comes down so low. Alright, you guys, so this is what she looks like on my skin. 1 layer, 2 pumps. That's all I need to cover everything that I have to cover. I do feel like it's just slightly darker than the original Born This Way foundation you guys would have seen from the swatches that I put on my hand. It is a tad bit darker, but I'm not mad at that. You know, I'm not upset about it because once I do all my highlighting and everything anyway, it looks flawless. So but this is what it looks like, and it doesn't feel sticky at all once it dries down, which I really feel like helps with the whole transfer resistant. And I really don't feel like this is an uncomfortable matte foundation. So even if you don't have oily skin, if you have combination skin, maybe even normal skin, I think that you could still get away with wearing this because it's not super tight and drying and uncomfortable. It's not as matte as some foundations that are on the market, but I do think it looks really good on camera, just like the original Born This Way foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup off camera, so you guys can see how other products sit on top of it. I always set all of my foundations with powder, no matter if they're matte or not. So like I said, I'm just gonna do my standard foundation routine that I always do with all of my products. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so this is what my face is looking like after applying all of my complexion products on top of the foundation. From what I can see from the viewfinder, it's looking really smooth, other than this little friend right here, but it's looking really smooth and soft and airbrushed, and that's what I was hoping this foundation would be. I was hoping that it would be the same type of look as the original Born This Way foundation, but just a little bit more long wearing and matte, and that is exactly what it is giving me. And as it wears throughout the day, I feel like it looks a lot more natural, not as matte, but just so much more natural, and it still wears long, it still is transfer resistant. I just really like everything about this foundation. It looks so good. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this foundation. Let me know if you're gonna pick it up. Let me know if you're gonna try it. I absolutely love it. I still have to put it through a lot more tests. Obviously, I have to film with it more. I have to take Instagram pictures. You know, I just gotta give it the full test and see how I like it, because I'm already really familiar with the original foundation, and I know that that one is one of my all-time favorites. So definitely gonna give this one a chance. Definitely gonna keep wearing it for like the next week, just so I can really get my thoughts together on it, and I'll come back and I'll update the description box of this video. But so far she's A1. I love this foundation. So that's all I have for you guys. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think about this foundation. If you're new, definitely hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so that you can be notified every single time that I upload a video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace.